Hey up, it's Daz from Photons. So I put a poll in the Discord chat this morning. 15 people voted yes to find out how to use an old game controller like that with a USB cable and to be able to do keyboard shortcuts on your bike so you don't fall off when you're trying to reach across for your laptop in the dark and you knock your water and everything else over on the floor. So without further ado, I'm just going to go straight into it. So I got this idea from Zwift Insider. I was looking at the Bluetooth e-controller, which was posted, I think, early January or late December, something like that. Couldn't really justify spending 20 or 30 quid on a Bluetooth audio controller device off Amazon. But then this one popped up. It's not actually original. If you were interested in it for propriety, then scroll right down to the bottom, and it actually originated from a guy in Australia. So obviously they have the same issues as we do. As I say, you can read that if you want. I'm not going to drop the link because you can literally just go on Zwift Insider and copy that title and it'll find it for you. So there's no issues there. Right. So I'll drop the link into where you'll find the bit of software that you're going to need to install on your PC, laptop or Mac, and it's this little one that's called Anti-Micro. Okay, I've just posted the URL at the top there. In fact, that's a bit of a longer version, which you can just abbreviate if you want it to take off after release as tag 2.23. You can still find it. So hopefully it'll bring you to this website. And if you have a look at the top of that page, there is a green button. So if you look for the green button and then look down at about 5 o'clock or 4:15, whichever your preference, you'll see a hyperlink. It'll be different. It'll say something different if you're on a Mac, because Mac obviously have different applications for installing. But the PC one, as at today, this is the 5th of February 2021, is release 2.23. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you to this page. 2.23 at the top. Scroll down where it says Assets. You've got one which has got a file extension MSI, which is Microsoft Installer. Doesn't matter if you're on a 64-bit Windows, because a 32 will be compatible, but not vice versa. Obviously, if you were putting a 64-bit program on a 32-bit, you probably need to buy yourself a new laptop or PC anyway. So double click on it. When it downloads, install it as you would normally any other program. You might get a bit of a Windows security thing coming up because it is a script. It's up to you. I'm not forcing you to do it. I've not had any problems at all. So install it, and then what you're left with is run the program. If it disappears off your screen when you've run it, it's not a virus, right? Look down where your clock is on your taskbar. If you look on your up arrow, you'll see something that resembles a game controller. You just see it in the top left on that screen there, little game controller icon, and the thing's called Anti-Micro. When you first start it up, you're left with this screen. There's nothing going on it. It tells you no joysticks have been found. Well, guess what? You take your joystick, make sure it's got a charge in it if it's an old Xbox controller. You plug it into your laptop, give it a couple of seconds, and then this pops up, which is brilliant. To check that you know that your controller is being read by this software, just press a few buttons. While that's popping up, hang on. So obviously one of the buttons that I've configured is actually a keyboard shortcut for Windows, which is a bit weird. So you have to be careful what buttons you choose. Right, so your next question to me is going to be, well, what do I program on what buttons? Well, again, go back onto Zwift Insider if you want, or just do a Google search and type in, hang on a minute, because I've just cropped off the top of that, I don't know why. Zwift keyboard shortcuts. On the right-hand side of here are the main ones that you're going to be interested in. One of the ones in the bottom left, and then it's optional if you want to do these up in the top left. So just to go through in order, where you've got these bold letters, and obviously up arrow and stuff like that, they're the keys which you would normally enter on a keyboard. Right? They're not the buttons on your controller. Don't get mixed up. So imagine now you're sitting on a bike in a team waiting for WTRL, team time trial on a Thursday night, and the clock is almost down to 2 minutes, but you want to turn your legs. Right, most of the team captains know how to do this anyway. Stick yourself on the pairing screen, you can pedal away, and your avatar will not go through the banner when the gate drops. That is controlled on a keyboard, on a PC, and a laptop. Not sure about the Mac. You'd have to look for the Zwift shortcut keys for a Mac, doing the same way. But on a laptop and PC, it's button A. The other ones that are going to be useful for you, T, I don't know why they call it user customization screen, it's Garage. Right, so T brings up your Garage. The up arrow will actually bring up that little menu bar which has got video, like a video icon. There's all sorts of things you can select. You can move across with your left and your right arrows. You can't actually choose anything because there's no button to choose, as far as I'm aware anyway. Spacebar is a good one to configure because if you get a power up in game and you want to quickly activate it, spacebar on a keyboard would do it. So we can configure a button on the controller for that. The other one is if you want to end the ride or come up to end ride screen, press that button. It'll just drop you straight into the end ride screen. You are then going to have to go back and use your laptop or your mouse or whatever and actually left click on it because there isn't a button, as I said, in here to do that. So they're the ones, and all the other ones are a bit optional. If you want to be able to do a U-turn quickly, you can configure a button on your controller to be the down arrow key. I'll show you how to do that. And another good one is this one here, which is screen capture. In other words, take a screenshot of whatever page you're looking at. It's quite good if you're doing a TTT ride and your team is just in a nice straight line and you want to capture it for your Facebook or your Discord posts. So you can configure a button on your controller for F10. These ones here in the top left-hand side are optional. Again, it's if you're one of these people that likes to go on multi-views whilst you're riding around, you can configure, play about in game with your keyboard. So you work out which numbers 1 to 9 and number 0, which one you do use most often. And then what I'd say is just pick 2 or 3 of the ones that are your favourites, because you can't really get, well, I suppose you can if you've got a controller with like multiple buttons, but you can't remember whilst you're riding which buttons for which. So just pick a couple of favourites, I'd say, and then try and configure it on your joypad, on your gamepad or joypad, wherever it is you've got. And that's pretty much it. So have a play about with this, see how you get on. The other thing I do as well, if you're like me, is just stick a bit of tape on there, reminding you what buttons are for which, particularly the main ones. And also, if you don't mind, you can see that above I've got some shortcuts. I'm on Zwift, not Zwift. I'm on Twitch, top left, as Wattbike Atom Zwifter. So if you can go on there and just give me a couple of follows. I've recently joined Instagram, again, as Daz the Wattbike Atom Zwifter. And just bear with. I also have a YouTube channel now, which is growing. There's a number of videos in there as well. I've started this last year. There's a lot of walkthrough, talkthroughs as well of stuff. Started out a couple of months ago now. So there's lots of stuff talking about the Zwift interface if you're new to it. There's a few tours around my pain cave and things like that. Just give some ideas of how you can make things a little bit comfortable. I do plug one of our Atom riders as well, who's got his own 3D printer, and he makes some real good gadgets to make it easier when you're on your Wattbike Atom. And I'm also a podcaster. So if you're on Spotify or if you're on an Apple or Google podcast, just do a search for Let Me Atom, a Zwift logbook of a Wattbike Atom rider. So that's mine as well. I've done quite a few. I've only done 2 or 3, I think, this year. I'm also looking to do live chat as well with anybody that wants to share any ideas or anything like that. So we'll just have a bit of crack and build the audiences and that from there. So if you can give me a follow, subscribe or whatever, and share it as well. Share it within your teams, and try and get a few more people as well from the other Wattbike Atom Facebook groups as well. So we might build a team as well. So it's all about promoting the team as much as it is about me kind of self-promoting. But just share that out as well, mate. That's it. That's all I ask of you. that's it for this one. I shall be doing more and more stuff. Again, just another aside as well, which I'll try to put a video together to makes it easy for people to work out how to do it, is that me and Jonathan Lees currently do live streaming of our rides. It is a bit technical to set up, to be honest, if you're not used to it. It's not foolproof. The latest Wattbike steering updates have copped up quite a lot of the bits and pieces that you need to put together and hope they're going to kind of work whilst you're doing your stream. So maybe the update will fix some of them, but I'll put a couple more on as well. I'll still put polls into Discord as well for anybody that wants anything doing. But, drop me a quick DM on Discord or find me on Facebook. I'm in the group quite a lot. Finally, the last thing that I've been doing as well, just to help some of the newbies, is giving the access to the garage for the Wattbike jerseys. So if we've got any newbies that's watching that are still waiting out from Zwift to actually get the jerseys uploaded, I can do it in about a minute. I've probably done about 10 now, and it really isn't any hassle. I'm more than happy to do it. Anyway, happy Zwifting, guys. I'll see you around.